Okay, I want to talk about something today. And you may view it as a cliche, but I want to get to the seriousness of what I actually want to talk about. And what I would like to address to you today is never give up. Now, we say this all the time. You've been hearing it since you were a child, first grade, second grade. You may have even been hearing it in kindergarten. But now you're 30 something, right? You know, you're in your 20s, you're in your 40s. You had kids earlier than what you expected to have them. You've been in jail a few times. You may even have a felony. You know, life seems to happen, and it seems to happen fast and drastically. And if we be honest with ourselves, sometimes, or maybe even a lot of times, life feels like it only happens to us. So how do you never give up when life is telling you to give up, or better, as a matter of fact, or even better said, how do you never give up when there are no opportunities for you to succeed? And this is real. This is a serious subject, and this is something that's really dear on my heart. So I really just want to tell you guys adamantly, you have to be able to look failure in the face, look failure dead in the eye, and just absolutely not recognize what it is. You know, for you, failure may be something that's drastic, but you need to stop and you need to think that this is not failure anymore. This is some opportunity for me to go around. This is some opportunity for me to keep moving forward, for me to jump over it, go under it, move to the left, move to the right, encompass it, circulate it, whatever you want to say, however you need to do it, whatever you need to do, you need to look at what's in front of you and know that what's in front of you is not meant to stop you. Now, so what's in front of you? I want to be very realistic with you, because what's in front of you, I'm not saying this in some generic, you know, some egocentric or, you know, exoteric. You know, I want you to believe that there's something in front of you that's actually real. So let's talk about the realness of this situation. What's in front of you right now may be you have no support system. Right? So for those of you folks right now that have no support system, your husband doesn't support you, your wife doesn't support you, you didn't grow up with a father, or you didn't grow up with a mother, or you didn't grow up with a mother and a father, and your grandmother or your grandparents raised you, or maybe you're like me and you're a product of the Child Protective Services, and then maybe you got adopted later on in life like I did. Listen, however it is, however your no support system comes to you, however it comes about, you have to look at your no support system and look at your star player, which is you, and say, I support me. You have to be able to just look at yourself and say, you know what? I support me. And if you haven't gotten to the point in which you can just honestly look in the mirror and say, I support me, honestly look at your dreams and say, I support me, honestly look at your situation, look at your goals, look at your lifestyle, look at your dreams that are ahead of you and say, I support me, then you ought to be able to look forward to someone, get you a mentor, read a book and model yourself after somebody. If you don't have a support system, you need to create a support system inside your own head and only listen to you, because there are people around you that do not want you to succeed. Now, why don't they want you to succeed? That's a really good question. The truth is, people don't want you to succeed because they really want to be right about you. See, here's the deal. People don't like to be proved wrong. And so since they don't like to be proved wrong, what they said about you was lesser than what they are, so then they don't want to be wrong. So if they're wrong, then you prove them wrong. So what's the point of all this here? Here's how you get past your situation right now. You need to be able to look failure in the eye and say, I'm never going to give up. I'm never going to stop. I'm never going to quit. But how do you get there? How do you get to the point where you can honestly say, I never want to quit. I never want to stop. I'm never going to stop moving forward. I don't care who doesn't like me. I don't care who doesn't care about me. I'm going to keep moving forward. Here it is. Here's your answer. You have to stop caring about what other people think if other people are thinking negative things about you. Listen to what I'm saying. I am not saying don't care about what anyone thinks. But what I am saying is if what they think of you is less than what you actually are, then stop giving validation to their thoughts. It's really that simple. If you don't ever want to give up, if you're trying to be greater than you are today, then you need to absolutely stop thinking about what people think about you if what they think about you doesn't amount to who you actually are. I truly believe in you. I truly believe that there's somebody out there right now, and in fact, I believe it's you. I believe that you're greater than the expectations people are giving you, people are putting on you. Listen, if you don't know who you are, people out there will decide who you are and put you in a box and make you stick right to where you should be. And the only place you should be is where they want you to be. You were never meant to be anywhere that I want you to be. You were always meant to be greater than anybody else thinks you are. You weren't put here to suffer. You weren't put here to not live a life worth living. That doesn't mean you got to be famous, but it does mean that you have to be happy with who you are. And if you're not happy with who you are, then you need to change what's on the inside. So let's just recap 2 things we only talked about. It's just 2 things, and we'll pick up some time at another time. First off, you need to look failure right in the eye and not recognize what failure is. Failure should just simply be a means to a different direction. After all, you wouldn't even need any leaders if there weren't any obstacles to overcome. So if you're looking at failure and you're not ready to overcome that obstacle, then stop looking at failure in the way you look at it and just look at failure as a way to go around. You got to thank God for the doors that are closed in your life, because they eventually lead you to the ones that are open for you, just for you, with your name on it. So that's number 1. Respect the fact that failure isn't a respectable thing at all. Number 2, you need to absolutely stop caring about the negative things that people are talking about you. Leave them alone. You don't need to. People are talking about you negative. They're going to talk anyway. You might as well let them talk to you or talk about you all the way to the bank. Let them talk about you and your new BMW. Let them talk about you with your happy marriage. Let them talk about you with the career that you have. Let them talk about you because you have good character. Don't give people options to talk about you. They're going to talk about you regardless. Don't help them talk about you. Let them do it on their own. So you need to be able to, 1, not recognize what failure is, and 2, not put so much stock into the things that people are saying about you that don't amount to who you are. Listen, I really hope that you got this message. Number 1 and number 2. Number 1 and number 2. I'll say it again. Do not respect what failure is, and don't put so much stock into what people are saying about you if it does not amount to what you are. Listen, I really hope who you are. Rev Tony. Keep walking and then keep smiling. It certainly looks good on your face.